Hi everybody, welcome to the Finance This Property That podcast. My name is Dion Fernandes and I am a mortgage planner and finance professional. My goal is to empower financial legacies for generations, and I look to do this by using my over 13 years experience in finance and having special guest speakers like financial planners, accountants, buyer's agents, family lawyers who are experts in their field to provide knowledge and free education. And without further ado, let's get into our episode today. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Finance This Property That. Thought I'd take a different tact this week, and I have a topic given to me by one of my followers. I do a lot of rooming house, so they wanted a podcast on the Smart Investor's Guide to Rooming House. So here it is, the rooming houses. This is the hidden gem for maximizing your rental yields. Cool, so let's get into it. Going to go through a few key points. We're going to go through an overview, what rooming house is, existing versus new, and then the question you guys all want to know, so you'll have to wait till the end, is how do you finance this? Cool, let's get into it. All right, what is a rooming house? Well, in a nutshell, a rooming house, if you look at it, is a 5-bedroom house. Each bedroom has its own ensuite toilet, living area, and a small kitchenette. So some may call that like a boarding house, but it's more than that. Each room can be then rented out individually and on individual lease agreements. So unlike a typical 5-bedroom house where you just have one lease, this one has 5 leases. Yeah, now you're probably saying, oh geez, 5 leases, I've got to manage 5 leases. Yeah. That's why you have a professional property manager that are experts in managing rooming houses to do this for you, because there is a lot that can go wrong, and that's why you pay a professional for the advice. So the rental income, you could get anywhere from, let's say, $400 to $430, which includes a car park per room per week. So you're looking at anywhere from $2,000 to $2,200 per week, which you look at a traditional 5-bedroom property, well, you're probably going to get, depending on the location and quality, maybe $950 to $1,200. Again, depending on where you are, right? And how upmarket and luxurious it is. So that's one piece you got to look at, right? That is the way to maximize your yields, and it's great. Basically, the rental income will end up paying for itself. The next question I sort of get asked is, well, what do I do? Existing versus new build. Great. They both come with their pros and cons, right? And they both require a specialist in that field to obtain the properties or obtain the block of land and then build the properties. So existing, probably the simpler way to get in to the market. If you didn't see my previous podcast with Harry Imam from Hugo Alexander Property Group, he is a real estate agent that specializes in rooming house, not only the existing, but he also has land, etc. I also have a couple of other partners, Brisbane Rooming House, who also specialize in finding land. They are a little bit more technical, and they also do the builds as well, because for some of my developing clients, they find land and they subdivide it 1 into 2, and then build 2 rooming houses. So again, that's a different type of strategy. However, existing, less issues, I guess, that you need to go through. It's basically you're like buying a property, REIQ, standard contract, and then it would depend on the structures that you're buying, which I'm going to get to in a second. New build. So these come with a little bit more work to do, right? So it depends on the strategy that you do. You can't just go and put a rooming house on any block of land, right? It's got to be in a council area that approves rooming houses, and each council has restrictions. And if you're not in that space, you're probably going to purchase the property without doing due diligence. Again, this is why it's really important to have that team of experts behind you in order to do that for you. So if that's what you are looking to do, don't go buy anything. Come and see me first, and I'll be able to guide you in that direction on who to speak to, and based on your goals and what you're looking to do. So there are pros and cons to both. And I guess the biggest pro is if you build, you kind of get the uplift in the value. If you are buying existing, well, someone's already developed that and you're probably paying the uplift on the development as well, which is not a problem. You do that with normal houses anyway. So it's got to have a different mindset. So financing it. This is the $1 million question, and it is not a blanket one size fits all, and it is not an investment that anyone and everyone can do. Cool. I want to make it very clear that to do one of these, you need to have the correct debt structure and strategy. And more importantly, you need to have a debt structure and finance strategy specialist like myself guiding you through this process. Now, you've got an option to go slow, to go fast, or if you want to speed through it, you can as well. My methodology, go slow to go fast, because the better we can understand your debt structure and strategy, where it all sits, it will actually end up being better for you, optimizing your yields, maximizing your cash flow. And actually, some clients that I've spoken to have come to me with the vision of, I can only do one, I can only have affordability for one. But after looking at everything they have, making a few adjustments, speaking to their existing trusted advisors, e.g. accountants and solicitors, we've been able to help them not only get one, but one of my clients has got into 4 in the last 6 months. It is just about debt structure and strategy. Now, you might also be saying, Dion, what the hell is debt structure and strategy, right? Well, debt structure is about how the loans are structured. What are the purpose of the loans? The strategy is the policy. How do we get there? Who do we go to, etc.? What do we borrow in? What entities? So this is where the advice comes in, right? Getting that right team of experts around you. Do you buy it in individual names? Do we buy it in a trust? Do we buy it in a self-managed super fund, or as the acronym goes, SMSF? So I've had a lot of clients, one more recently, that didn't think they could even do one. We've got them into 2. It's just about structuring it the way they were looking at it, asking the right questions, and really understanding where they're at currently, where they want to be, going away, doing the research, because if you're self-employed, it gets a little trickier, especially if you do not have financials. Again, come and see me. We'll be able to sort you out on that path before signing any contracts. Can't stress that enough. But long story short, don't wait till you sign a contract to come and see me. Actually, come and see me before, so we can actually plan out the strategy, how we do it, because there are plenty of moving parts that need to happen. And the first part, or the second and third part, may not be able to happen without the first and second happening. So again, my team and myself guide you through that process. And then we also link you up with other professionals like insurance specialists, property management, builders, buyers agents, people like Harry, people like Brisbane Rooming House that do these things day in and day out. So hopefully you guys got something of that out of that. As I mentioned, the information is very generic and general in nature. If you want to know more, my call to action to you guys is come and speak to me. If you're curious, if you thought about it, you don't know where to start, let's start with a conversation and let's look at your debt structure and strategy moving forward. And then we can position you to buy that first investment in rooming house. Want to know how to get through to me? Really, really simple. Follow me on Instagram at Dion Finance Specialist. This podcast, Finance This, Property That, is also on Instagram. There is a link in my bio which takes you directly through to my booking page to book what I call a discovery call, where we'll go in depth into your goals, where you're stuck, and how I can help you, or where you need help from. Like I said, if you got any questions, let me know. But again, short, sharp, thank you to my wonderful followers for asking me the question that you guys want to hear about. See you guys on the next episode. As always, the information on the show is very general in nature. If you'd like to speak more about your current situation, you can contact me using the details below. Thank you for listening.